Hi, my name is Kelly, if we haven't met already, and I would like to share with you a little bit about how I groom my English Angora rabbits. This video is one of a series of videos on grooming English Angora rabbits, and this video will actually cover the tools and supplies that I use whenever I'm getting ready to groom my rabbits. Now, I will say that there are a lot of different ways to groom a rabbit, and you will eventually find a way that works well for you and your rabbit. So what I would suggest to you and to anyone is that you watch as many different people groom their rabbits as possible, preferably at an ARBA show. I actually find that that's the place that I learned the most about grooming rabbits, is actually going to a show, whether I actually exhibited in the show or not. So keep that in mind. Also, be patient with yourself and be patient with your rabbit. You'll eventually find a way, and don't get too discouraged if things don't work out exactly how you envisioned them. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started then, and we'll take a look at the items that I use whenever I'm getting ready to groom my rabbit. The first thing I grab is a lint brush. You can use whatever kind that you like. There's a bunch of different kinds. If you haven't figured it out already, Angora wool gets everywhere. So when I get ready to groom my Angora rabbits, I usually try to dress in a way that will attract the least amount of wool as possible. So first thing I do is I put on some long jeans. I find that jeans do not attract wool as much as some other types of fabric do. So jeans work really well for me for that, and also they offer a little bit of extra protection in case the rabbit gets a little squirrely and scratches you. I also try to use a polyester top that I will just throw over the top of whatever I am wearing. Polyester also doesn't attract wool near as much as some other types of material, and that will take care of most of the wool issue for you. The next thing that I usually try to grab is a grooming table, and this doesn't have to be fancy. I actually use an old aluminum camping table as my grooming table, but other people use the standard wooden grooming tables that you'll see at rabbit shows, and also people use old end tables or also a sturdy TV tray, and those will work pretty well too. The important thing is that you have an isolated square so that your rabbit doesn't just decide that it's done with the grooming session and jump off. If you use a larger table, you'll notice that they'll do that, and you'll spend most of your time chasing your rabbit around the table instead of grooming it. You'll also want to use a piece of, this is a bath mat, an old bath mat actually, that has rubber on it so that it doesn't slip on the table. You can also tape a towel around your table, and or you can use a carpet square that you stick down to the tabletop with double stick tape, just so that your rabbit doesn't slide. Also, most rabbits will not jump or fall off the table. It's in their nature. However, you do not want to leave your rabbit unattended on the table, because they could still possibly fall off and hurt themselves. We'll now zoom in a little bit closer so that you can see the individual tools that I use when grooming my rabbit. Okay, besides your table and your clothing and your lint brush, this is a pet blower. Now, even though they seem like they're an expensive investment, pet blowers greatly reduce your grooming time and make your life with your Angora rabbits much easier. Now, this model right here, you may recognize it. It's one of the most popular pet blower models, the Metro Air Force Commander. I recommend at least a 4 horsepower motor with any of the pet blowers you purchase if you're raising show rabbits. Now, if you have a fiber herd, you can probably get away with around a 2 horsepower blower, since you're not growing out a big show coat. An alternative to a pet blower is a shop vac. Just make sure you get one with a blower attachment and only use it for your rabbits. Okay, this right here is a wide tooth comb. It is one of my most used grooming tools. I believe these are also called poodle brushes. Now make sure to look for one with as wide a teeth as you can find, because there are a lot of metal combs out there whose teeth are not as wide, and those don't really make a good substitute for keeping wool on your rabbit. Now I use the wide tooth comb to locate those areas that need attention on the rabbit, and of course I'll show you more about that later. This next tool is the small slicker brush. Now this small slicker brush is another of my most used grooming tools. This is a Doggy Man extra soft slicker brush. It's my favorite brand and I highly recommend it. As you can see, it's well used. It has wire pins in it that don't bend, but they're very gentle on your rabbit's coat and also on its skin. So this is mostly due to the soft, cushiony bed that the pins are embedded in. A lower costing alternative may be a cat slicker brush. Just look for the words extra soft on the label and that'll help you choose a good slicker brush for you. This is a scissor style cat nail clipper. You'll need this, of course, whenever you clip your rabbit's nails. So it's nice and small. It's made for a cat, but it'll also work for your rabbit. Okay, and here are some scissors. Now I use scissors a lot when I'm grooming my Angora rabbits. These are a pair of Fiskar soft grip scissors. They have the little spring action in them. They're wonderful. I love them. But I've also had a lot of success with the back to school kids blunt tip scissors, and I know a lot of people who use those also. And finally, this is a shedding comb. This is another type of comb that I use. I don't know if you can see the pins in there and how they're shaped. I use this tool mostly to comb around the rabbit's face and furnishings, and as you can see, it does have closer spaced pins than the other wide tooth comb that I showed you earlier.